everybody. It's Monday night. Today is August 14th, and we are on episode 114. My name is Donna V, and I am the producer of Minded Mystics, and have we got a show for you. So if you have never been here before, and this is your first time catching us live, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are live right now on YouTube and Facebook and even on Twitch. Believe it or not, I'm still trying out the Twitch thing. And so all we're asking you to do is to sit back and maybe take some notes, because tonight's going to be really informative, but sharing is caring. So if you could just share our show, we would love it. We're trying to build up our Vibe Tribe, and you know that the way to do it is to share, 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 share. So without further ado, I am going to bring out the host of our show tonight, because she is amazing. And I think you might know her from another show that will be making a comeback soon. Shameless plug for Yes, Girls Gone Green, because guess what? Football season is underway. But right now we are talking about manifesting.
Hello, Donna V.
Tracy Locke, what is up?
Oh my goodness, I am so excited to see your face. My forehead is absolutely glowing. That's how excited I am.
You look great.
Oh my God, you look great. And I'm so excited to see your face and Kim's face for this amazing show tonight. We have gotten so many requests, ladies and gentlemen, for this exact topic that we are doing. First of all, as Donna said, Shrem which means we need money coming our way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So all of you mystics that are here right now, we appreciate you so much. You guys have been so loyal, and our fan base is growing and growing, and we appreciate it. But as Donna said, tell a friend, please join, subscribe, pass the word, let everybody know what's happening on Monday nights between 8 and 9. We are here every other Monday night, and we are giving you amazing information that you can utilize, and we are giving you tools you can use, and it will change your life. And tonight is no exception. I am so excited to talk to Kim. So you may or may not know, if you've seen us before, you definitely know, but if you don't know, we are of our own, very own resident life coach who is incredible. She's amazing. She always gives fantastic advice. Kim Mazzella, ladies and gentlemen.
Are you ready?
Oh, that's not our intro. Was that our intro? I would have been like,
I thought that was your intro.
Mazzella.
I thought that was your intro. I just wanted to see her because I can't wait to get into this topic tonight.
That was way too mellow for an intro.
Should I put her in the back and do it again?
No. Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, we're gonna do it again. Hold on.
Hold on, Kim. So, all right, that's what I was just like talking about her.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I got excited. I couldn't wait.
All your years in comedy, you don't know when a good intro is. You're the queen of intros. Come on.
Well, I'm a little rusty.
Okay. All right. I will let you, because it's the summertime. You've been out on the beach, obviously.
Obviously.
Tan going on. She's a blondie blonde. Things.
I know. Good. I had pink hair the other day, and then I went to the beach, and this is what happened.
Look at you, summer baby. How was the beach?
It was amazing. It was amazing. I meditated. It was beautiful. I loved it so much. But, tonight we are talking about not sand dollars, regular dollars. And it is thanks to our resident life coach, just like Tracy was saying, Kim Mazzella, who is amazing. And she is tool-based. And you know what tool I'd like right now? A muzzle.
Zip the dog.
Yeah, I'd like a muzzle, because he's on his way out for a really nice walk with his mom, who is Courtney. So he just wanted to say hello. So.
Oh, that's Rusty.
Yeah.
AKA Blitzen, AKA Moneybags for this show.
Moneybags for this show.
Mm-hmm. All right. So those of you that are watching, you better tell a friend right now that they need to tune in and turn on and join in, because Kim is about to come out and talk to us about how we can attract more money, Donna.
Money, money, money.
All right, so without further ado, get your wallets open, because there's a lot of cash that is about to fly in, because she's bringing the cash bags. Give it up for our resident life coach, an amazing, all-around, incredible host and friend, Kim Mazzella.
That was a much better intro. That was a better intro. All right.
You guys have to follow me around now and always say great things about me.
No, you are great, so we don't have to say much. But can I tell you that we get so many people to write in and give us ideas for different shows? This was one of the most popular topics, most frequent topics, is how do I attract more money into my life? So we are so excited with open ears and open notebooks to find out what the answer is.
I can't wait to talk about it. The first thing, I found in my own experience with people. I get this a lot. I'd love to work with you, Kim, but I just can't afford it. Right. I mean, we've all heard that. I'd love to work with you, but I just can't afford it. And I always say, wherever you go, there you are, right? Money is energy, just like anything else. Money is energy. And we got to remember that, because it can seem a lot scarier than energy when money isn't flowing, right? Money is supposed to flow. It's supposed to be current. It's currency, right? Think about a current. It comes in, it goes out. It comes in, goes out. And so the more that you can relax, that's awesome.
Kim Moneybags Mazzella. I love that.
Woo! Triple M. Speaking of money bags, there's Mr. Chocolate, ladies and gentlemen. Triple M Treats. We love that guy. Go ahead.
Yum. Right. And chocolate is an abundant thing too. So that's always a beautiful thing. We want to start thinking about abundance, right? One of the things I always do in my course is, when you take a course with me, we have this whole process on magnetizing. And I always say, you know how people say, oh, I always see the signs. I always see the signs. I say, you tell the universe what the signs you want are. You tell the universe. And so one of the signs I always think about.
What does that mean though? Explain what you're just saying there.
Well, Donna is amazing. And she's always noticing signs in the universe. She's always telling us about the signs that she sees. She sees, birds or butterflies or pennies, and they just show up at the time that will tell that, because she's aware and paying attention. She knows that that this is an energy world, and spirit is energy, and we are energy. And there's a way that we could speak to spirit, that spirit's always trying to guide us and lead us, right? But we could also remind ourselves, right, with our own messages. So one of the things in my course I always have people do is you tell the universe, when I see this thing, I am going to know, when I become aware of this thing, I'm going to know that this other thing is on the way, right? So you tell the universe what you want your symbols to be. So last week I was working with someone, and I'm like, my symbol for money is abundance. For abundance is leaves. Every time I see leaves, it's going to be a sign that the universe is sending me money.
Mine is oxygen. Everything.
Mine is oxygen.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow, that's smart though.
But so I think that if you're watching this and you're listening to this, I want you to remember that your thoughts are super important. Your thoughts create your life. And we spend a lot of time thinking our life creates our thoughts. And when we're in a fear state around money, if we're afraid and we start thinking thoughts that match afraid, it's not going to make it better. So our job is to not pretend that we don't know the truth. And the truth is, we're energy. We have an energy body that has an energy broadcast. And our broadcast is the sum of how we feel and what we believe, right? That's our energy broadcast. Our energy broadcast goes out into the world, and it's a magnet. And what it does is it brings back everything that matches it, right? So everything that matches our energy broadcast, the universe says yes to, right? And so today I was in a car with somebody who I don't like driving with very much, right? And that person was driving like crazy, right? In my particular mind, I'm assuming this person's driving really in an unsafe way. This person thinks he's driving completely safe, right? So I'm starting to get really upset, right? So my mind and I'm starting to get nervous. And then I thought to myself, ow, I'm a creator. My thoughts are contagious. My thoughts are creative. We're just going to get there faster. This is just going to work out. I've already told the universe, I'm going to be safe. I'm safe. I've always been safe. Everything always works out for me. And this is going to work out for me too. So I kept saying, why? And then I said, why? I said, oh, this is going to work out for me too, because, and I started giving reasons why. It's always so simple. If you could just remember, we make it complicated. Our thoughts are creative. So when it comes to money, money is a form of energy. And we have to remember that money is just energy, and that we can change our money and it can become unlimited, but we have to move into that energy space. So you're not going to wake up and go, oh, money's unlimited and I have $1 million in the bank, and all of a sudden have $1 million in the bank, because you don't A, believe it, and B, it doesn't work that quickly. You have to soften the energy. You have to move into a new energy about money.
Okay, wait. So wait, before we get going, because I have to grab a pen because mine just died, and I want to make sure that everyone here is taking notes. You're going to give us some actual tools, Kim. But so three of them?
Not just 3 of them. There's a lot of them. So
three tools.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're talking about people that are saying to themselves, I'm doing okay, but I could be getting more money. Or are we talking anyone can do this?
The 3 tools
And
are
I'm grabbing
at
my
different
pen.
emotional set points. So we're gonna talk about that. And I might as well talk about that while you're getting your pen.
Mm-hmm.
So there are
Put me on small, but I'm getting my pen.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm like,
that was actually
Put
all
me on small, she goes.
right.
all right,
So
I'm getting my pen.
I think the first thing to know about when you're trying to change your energy with money is you have to understand that you have to pay attention to the way you feel right now about money, right? And so there is, I actually have it. So there are 22. I don't know how to do this.
Put it up to your camera.
Yeah, 22. I don't know how well you
Yeah, we
can
see them. We see 18 of them, 16, 14.
Joy,
So-
passion, hopefulness.
Fear. Yeah, I see all 22. Fear.
So
depression.
that's called the emotional scale. I have a much better version of it. I should have sent it to you beforehand. There are 22 emotions that in the whole range of emotion that Abraham-Hicks identified. The top of the emotions are joy and knowledge, empowerment, freedom, love, and appreciation.
I mean, like this one?
Oh,
Yeah.
look at you out of nowhere.
And
Guys,
at the bottom,
I don't get paid nothing for nothing. Right?
Hey, we're changing that tonight.
That's right. We are going to be paid soon.
Yeah. So the bottom is fear, grief, depression, despair, powerlessness. It's very important to understand that if you look at these 22 things, that you can't go from complete despair to complete joy without taking some steps. You have to
Right.
take some steps. So the goal is, and it's important to understand that you have what they call an emotional set point. Everybody seems to be in an emotional range. And so your emotional range is going to attract what you always expect. My son told me today, and I used to say this to him all the time when I was young, and he said this to me today. Well, Mom, I'm always lucky. He's like, luck just finds me. And I used to tell him that. I remember saying to him, luck just finds you, just to see how he'd feel about it. And he has had the most amazing things happen to him because he believes luck just finds him. Right?
Amen.
Right? So
I believe that.
Yeah. So he's like, oh, Mom, because we talked about the bedroom that he got in the house in college. Oh, I got the best one. Because, like I always won the raffle. I always win the things. Luck always finds me. Everything works out for me. Like he believes that, I'm so lucky. And I'm like, wow, I did great. It worked out because he believes he's lucky. And all his friends do too, because they've seen it. And
what? I want to make a point to that because I think that is such a gift that you gave your son. And I think that more parents should recognize that they could do is to say things like that, because think about how many times someone will say something negative you've heard a kid get told, you talk too much, you talk too much, you talk too much.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that was just me, but I got told that a lot by a lot of teachers. And I never understood like how much I spoke until I have the carbon copy of me as one of my children. And I have Courtney, who when I hear her, and I don't ever tell her she talks too much, I will jokingly sometimes say, did you have birdseed for breakfast? But I will never say you talk too much. And I know that that's just another way of saying it, but because I find it fascinating. And I find like so many people compliment her on, I think it's great that you talk to so many adults. I think it's awesome because I never stopped her. I always encouraged her.
Right.
But how many parents don't do that? And it's interesting because what you did was you gave him such a gift by saying, you're so lucky. You're always so lucky. Really, if you think about it, it was like you planted the seed and it grew, and he bought into that as a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, he is.
No,
so
I know
lucky.
he is, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying that that's a wonderful gift you gave your son.
Yeah,
that is, and that's an incredible testament to the fact that it actually does work. You are what you believe, and
absolutely,
you have to believe. Really
and we have to prove it to ourselves, and it's so hard to prove it to ourselves because we have to overcome the world in order to do it. Right? But everybody watching this right now today, I want you to say, I can overcome the world. Just start today. Start saying, I'm so lucky. It just always works out for me. I'm just so lucky. Right. That's wonderful though, about the talking. And I wonder where I may have I wasn't, it's so easy when you're clear about the things you want to do, but when you're unclear, because you knew that you didn't want to make your kids think they talk too much
Correct.
because you had the experience.
Correct.
Because you were clear. That was a gift that you were actually given.
Yeah.
Right. That clarity. I don't know. The places that we're not clear, unfortunately, it's not as easy to
Oh no. What I'm saying is we all make mistakes. We all do stuff, but how many people walk around if a kid trips, you're so clumsy. Like, why feed that negativity if you can avoid it? If just don't say anything. That old adage, you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. It's just like we all do it. I mean, we do it to ourselves too. Like, I'll do something, like I'll miss an exit. I'll say, oh, I'm so stupid, I wasn't paying attention. Like, what a horrible thing for me to even say to myself. Right. But as a going forward, I just wanted to make sure that you knew that was an incredible gift that you gave to your child, because we definitely always point out when we make a mistake with our children, our friends, or whomever.
Right.
But not often do we celebrate those victories.
I agree with that 100%. Nice job, Kimmy.
Nice job, Kimmy.
Yeah, thank you. Well, anyway, so why do you need to know the emotional scale before you do these 3 tools? I'm going to give you 3 tools. And the reason why is you want to know where you're feeling before you do one of these tools, because there's a range. Just like we've talked about the rampage of appreciation, you don't go on a rampage of appreciation when you're feeling grief or despair. You're not vibrating close enough to it. You have to be a few steps away in order to so the goal of a tool is to get you a little bit better, is to get you a little bit higher so that you can move the next tool. So these 3 tools have 3 different emotional ranges that are important to know. So the first one I want to talk about is the prosperity game. This is in this book, Ask and It Is Given. I've had this book forever. I love this book.
Let me see if I can find it and share the screen so that you don't have to keep holding it up.
Yeah.
All right. So keep going and I'll look at it. I'll find it for you.
Can you put that emotional thing up, that scale for a second? I just think that's so important, Kim. I don't know that everybody, that visual of the emotional scale is so important.
I made an emotional scale that has them, and it even has because content is very important. Like when you get to content, so the only thing is they don't have all of the 22.
Right. On this one, this is a very general. This is just. Yeah, so I could look for another one.
But I do have a really good scale, and that I've made, so I should really send it. But it would take. I'm not technical enough to.
That's okay. It's okay.
You don't need to do it yet today, but we can do it some other time and go over it.
And I just want to recognize that there are some new people that came in and are saying hello, and I promise I will get to you and put you up. We'll say hi back. I just want to keep the flow of the conversation going, and I'm so happy that you're all here. So go for it, Kim.
Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about, and the emotional scale is still up, is the prosperity game, right? So the prosperity game is process number 5 in the book, Ask and It Is Given.
Okay.
So you use this when you want to expand your ability to imagine, when you want more clarity, when you want to enhance the flow of money into your experience, and when you want to enhance the flow of abundance into your experience. Now, the prosperity game is best when you can use it when you're feeling joy all the way up to level 16, right? So most emotions can work on the prosperity game, right? And there's always groups in Facebook that play the prosperity game every year. And so the way now you don't do the prosperity game if you're feeling terrified about money, because that's down at the bottom, right? That's going to be the last tool I'm going to give you. Okay. So the prosperity game works like this. Imagine that you have a checkbook, right? And make your own fake checkbook. And in that checkbook, on the first day, deposit $1,000, right? And then by the end of the first day, you've got to think about what you're going to spend your $1,000 on. So I joined a Facebook group once that we did this, and we did it for almost a year. I didn't do it the whole year because after a while I'm like, okay, I get it. Right?
Right.
Should I have enough money? I don't need to do this.
Yeah, I'm rich. Yeah.
And so what they would make you do is on the first day, you figure out what you'd spend your $1,000 on, and you have to write out all the things and have nothing left in your bank account. And on the second day, you get a deposit of $2,000. And then by the end of the second day, you have to write down what you would have spent your $2,000 on. On the third day, you deposit $3,000. And this was fun because in this Facebook group, this was like a couple of years ago, I did this. In this Facebook group, we were all talking about, and at $36,000, it, by the way, was really hard to spend 36. Like in the mid 30s, we found it was starting to get really hard to spend that kind of money.
In one day.
You like go, you could buy a car, but like one of those days you're buying a car. And then like, well, now they're 50. So maybe it was a little bit different. But the goal is to every day spend the money. And you could say to yourself, how's this going to work? It's not real money. It's not real. None of this is real. But the goal is it lightens up your energy around money. It makes it more fun. It makes you a little more expansive. I'm telling you, try it, because the cool thing about it is I remember the first 3 days I was doing this. I'm like, this is a waste of my time. All right. And I really did. I'm like, because sometimes with Abraham-Hicks tools, sometimes I'm like, yeah, okay. But honestly, makes you feel less terrorized about money, especially if you have stuff going on. Like it makes money a little more fun. Like, oh, what are we going to spend it on? And what was really cool about this Facebook group is there was a lot of joking going on about, oh, what to spend it on. It made it more fun, more light. So that is called the prosperity game. That's number 5. Okay. The next is called the wallet process. Okay. The wallet process is number 15. Okay. And you use this process when you want to attract more money, when you want to improve the way you currently feel about money in order to allow even more to flow into your life, when you want to get your juices flowing regarding your specific desire, or when you feel there's a shortage of money in your life. So this is the first one where if you're feeling kind of negative, you can use it.
Okay.
So this one, if you're feeling great joy, don't do the wallet process. This one starts at level 6, which is hopefulness. And it goes down to 16 discouragement too. So if you're in grief, if you're in despair about money, this is also not a great one to use. So the way the wallet process works is you put a real $100 bill into your pocket, right? Put a real $100 bill in your wallet if you carry a wallet or wherever you carry around. And when you go out, whenever you see something, say to yourself, I could buy that thing. Anything under 100. I could buy that thing. I have $100 in my wallet. I could buy that thing. The goal with the wallet process is because one of the things that we do it all the time, is we'll say, I can't afford it, right? I can't afford it. I can't afford it. Remember, the universe doesn't know the difference between energy and where you are. Now, here's the thing. If you have enough, put $200 in your wallet and never spend it. Put some money in your wallet and remind yourself you could spend it. I could spend that all day, but just don't spend it. But it's always good to know I got it there. Maybe if you have enough, put $1,000 in your wallet. That's what my dad would have done. He would have, like the old time Italian men like to walk around with a lot of
the big cage. Right. All ones. $1,000, all ones.
Well, no, my mother said it after my father died. She kept finding like wads of cash hidden in different places in the house.
Hilarious.
Because
that's what happened when my grandfather died. I told you that.
Oh, really?
I knew it. I knew that he used to like to put money in the Encyclopedia Britannica, like in the books in the dining room. He'd go get his pickets and then he'd leave money in there. And when he passed away, I went home and I saw it on the curb. I'm like, what are these people, idiots? And I said, did anybody go through the encyclopedia? And they're like, we're not going through it. Because back in the day, there was no copy machines. He used to let me actually cut the articles out and paste it onto my reports. So we had it looked like crazy, my encyclopedias. But then I went through all the every single one, and I held the book up and I shook it out like this. And I found a couple $100.
That's awesome.
And it was my money to keep.
That.
Of course I did. Come on.
Finders keepers, right?
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? But just so everybody knows, I've been looking to try to find pictures, just so you know, and I really want to pay attention and stay present and listen to what you're saying.
Yes.
When the show is done, I'm going to put in the comments for everyone. The book is called Ask and It Is Given, that Kim is referring to and getting all of this information from. It is an Abraham-Hicks book. And you can actually watch or listen to the full audio on YouTube when we're all done with this. It's something to get excited about, but it's called Ask and It Is Given. And I'm putting it into the comments because I've been listening and looking and listening, and I want to just stay here with you guys. So I just want to let you know, I wasn't like just fuddling around. So, and I want to say hi because Scuba Ray is here and Sal Source.
What's up?
SouthSource saved me again. If anybody needs to get rid of anything in their home, if they have like lots of junk, lots of stuff, SouthSource carding is amazing. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay, that's
saved me.
fabulous. And we'll have a special surprise shout out for Girls Gone Green.
Yes.
They know who they are. Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So, yeah. So I will say this, that I feel that the wallet process is really important to do when you are, it's fun, it's playful, right? You want to play, you want to make money fun, because what we tend to do is we feel that money's so hard. And if we could start thinking of money as energy, we feel, even I see with my kids, I try to make it like them excited to see that the money growing in their bank accounts, because it's summer, and so they're both working, right? So they're both home and they're working because they go to college, and I'll be like, look at the money in your bank account growing, making it an exciting thing to save. We want to make it an exciting thing to spend. By the way, whenever you send money out into the universe, say thank you, universe, or thank you, God. I used to write thank you, God, or universe, or source. On the bottom of every check, if you actually write a check anymore. I mean, do we write these things anymore?
Yes,
I
do. Right. But whenever you send out money, if you're scheduling money and you're, or when you see money going or you see money coming in, the goal is to remember that you are not working for your money. You are working for the universe. So the more you could think about, every time money comes in, it's not your employer that gives it to you. It's the universe that gives it to you. It's source. You align with money, you align with abundance, or you don't. So the goal is getting into alignment. So the purpose of these, and if you can think of a game that would work for you, that's great. Because what I love about this book is there's so many good processes in it. There's not just, there's 22 processes in it. And I'm just giving you 3 of them. But, the book of positive aspects is in this book. The one that so many of the things I do every day are in this book. And no, Abraham-Hicks, they're not giving us any money to talk about them.
Yet.
Just love
Yet.
Exactly.
Thank you, Abraham-Hicks, for the money.
Yeah, exactly. For those of you that don't know, Abraham-Hicks is a channel. Is that how you would say it? Because again, I've been just recently through Open-Minded Mystics, not recently because we've been together now a long time, found out about Abraham-Hicks, who is a channel who is fascinating to listen to, watch videos, read books that they've done. So sometimes Abraham-Hicks, people are like, what is that? And
It's Esther Hicks. Esther Hicks is the woman that channels the collective consciousness of Abraham. I've had the pleasure of seeing
her live.
Right? Yeah.
How is that as an experience?
It was amazing. I mean, it was really cool. And that was the wild thing is I went to go see a live show of, a showing of Abraham-Hicks, and ran into so many people I know. In fact, it was the wildest thing because the bathroom line was really long, and I went and I found a different bathroom. And as I was like coming back, I saw a friend of mine at the end of the line. I said, just follow me. I said, I know where there's another bathroom. And it was just really cool. And then I sat down next to someone who was friends with somebody else I know. I didn't know who they were at the time. And in front of me was another person named John. I knew I was in the right spot.
That's awesome.
Everything aligned. I love it.
I have a question, because my mom went to see Esther Hicks also. How long did it take her to meditate and bring up Abraham? I always wondered about that.
Not very long.
Really?
I didn't think it was very long. I mean, I think she probably does a lot of pre-work before, but I think she also, if you are a subscriber and a believer and that someone can actually channel, I want to say, I think it's like if a baby was given the opportunity to tune in a radio station and somebody who was actually an adult that knew the radio, I think it could be done that much faster without the static.
Yeah. Yeah. And plus,
wait a minute.
I know that as she
wait a minute. What did you say? I didn't get that. Usually your analogies are like, I'm like, oh,
I got it.
So
Kim, I know you got it.
One, I was like, the baby.
If a child was put in front of a radio and they knew that the dial had something to do with finding a radio station, they're going to be going all over the place because they just wanted to play with the dial.
Yes.
But Abraham-Hicks knows how to tune into exactly the channel they want for clear and clarity and
Now that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Before I was like, why is there a baby involved in this? And what is happening? That's
Well,
so funny.
also she meditated a long time before Abraham showed up. And when Abraham first showed up, she showed up like she would write with her nose. And at first it was just letters that she would write with her nose. And then it got better and better. And if you listen to old tapes, because I have some really old tapes.
The fact that you just said old tapes is hilarious because old recordings.
Hey,
Yeah.
my back on my 8-tracks. Go ahead.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm old. So
Hey,
she
you have no
talks differently, like there's something in her mouth, and she talks slower. Like that, it sounded heavy.
Wow.
It sounded heavy, but then
so
as she got
interesting.
better, the newer tapes.
Yeah, the cassettes, I mean CDs, I mean digital downloads. Yeah, exactly. It is amazing because when I first started listening, I was like, I don't even understand what is happening. I don't understand who this person is that's just like babbling on, like just going, because she just does stream of consciousness, and it's like, and and you're feeling this, and you're feeling that, and you're definitely feeling it, and it's a lot when you first listen to her, but once you kind of get to really understand, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
And really, so the fact that she writes this down and that you're able to use it, and Kim, it's so awesome the way you're interpreting and helping us. I mean, Kim has helped us with different tools, and every time I use Kim's tools, they work, ladies and gentlemen. They work. That's why I'm writing everything down. Write it down. My notebook is somewhere, but I write it down and then I transfer it to my notebook because these tools work.
I know. It's crazy that we don't do them all the time, but we're humans, so we resist doing the things that will. So if you're listening to this and you think, oh, I know some of these tools, why do I not use them? It's human nature to resist doing the things that will be good for us. I don't know why. This is
the
just
reason
the way
why
we
I don't
are.
eat the food pyramid. Like we've been learning that since kindergarten, that you have to eat the colors of the rainbow and blah, blah, blah. And meanwhile, I'm like, yes, right. Give me cheese.
Like, as long as those colors are the Italian flag, I'm okay. Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, even just like losing weight. I mean, for the most part, we have a general gist. Maybe when you go through menopause, it all goes wacky. But for the most part, we know like exercise, eat less, eat right. You're not going to gain weight. Yes, we all do it, right? So a lot of the time, every single morning, I wake up and I have this thing I go through. I don't get out of bed until I've had 3 good feeling thoughts. And then I go into the mirror and I do my meditation, my mirror work. And then I get to sit down to meditate, and I read a little bit. And then next I read A Course in Miracles. And then it's time for me to meditate. And I'm like, oh, look at the bird in the sky. Like it is sometimes so hard for me, that minute before I'm meditating. I just don't want to do it. Like, even though I know it's going to be good for me, even though I know at the end of it, I'm going to be happy. Sometimes the first 2 minutes, I'm like fidgeting.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Now I have a question regarding this stuff, Kim, because I know people will ask. And again, you can ask any kind of question here on Open Minded Mystics. It's an interactive forum, so don't be afraid to ask questions. There are no stupid questions. We welcome everything, because the whole point of Open Minded Mystics is that we are learning together and we are sharing tools and creating a community where you can feel free to ask and we will help you. So my first question is, does it matter when you do this? So I know you meditate in the morning, but if you're doing these tools like the Walla process or prosperity, I know you have to be in the right energy frame, but does it matter? Like, do it in the morning, do it at night before you go to sleep?
I say do it whenever you have the time. Like, when it comes to meditation, I really feel like it's better in the morning, and if you could do it before night. But even if you can't meditate in the morning, do it whenever you can. Okay. All of these things are good for you, right? It's never a bad idea to exercise. Is it better to exercise at certain times during the day than others? Yeah. But, sometimes if you exercise at night, it may make it hard for you to fall asleep, but not that much harder. It's still good for you to exercise whenever you can. And so this is the exact same thing. It's never bad to give yourself a joyful moment, right? So I think the most important thing to understand is that we think the world out there impacts us, and it does, but we create the world out there. And if we could remember that there is no world out there, really, we push what's in here out, and we just see it in the world. And that's a hard way to live, because most people, it's hard to live that way. Let's be honest. It just doesn't feel real. But if you
say that again. So you're saying that basically what we are seeing in the world is a mirror of what we are, the energy we're giving, or the thoughts that we are.
Well, there's everything in the world. There's negative and positive, right? Out in the world. There is, right? There's very bad people out there and very, very good ones. The world has a smorgasbord of everything, right? But our world, the world that we experience, it comes to us in our experience because we bring it there, right? Our world, what our experience. Now, that doesn't mean that if something bad happened to you or somebody did something terrible to you, that you asked for it. So please, do not think I am saying that you're asking for bad things when they come to you. People die, people leave you, these things happen, right? But maybe on a soul level, there was something that you wanted to experience. Now, that doesn't mean that we're supposed to get hurt and be unhappy. We're not supposed to be unhappy, right?
Right.
The way Abraham-Hicks says it like this: we came here, and 90% of the time we were supposed to be happy, happy, joy, joy. And 10% of the time we're sifting and sorting through the difficult stuff and getting clear about what we want, right? We're always going to get the difficult stuff, because the difficult stuff is where we get really clear about what we want. I went to my son's apartment today, and he just moved in. It was filthy. I got very, very clear. I wanted it clean. Let me tell you, I had to work to get it clean. I worked and scrubbed, but at the end it was clean. It was joyful to me to do that experience, right? So does that mean that cleaning the house? So think about it. When you clean a house, it's work, but you get to the end, it feels great. Like, it felt great to see that shiny place. And that is what the difficult stuff is. It's what we need to work through to get to that other side, to know what we really want. But what we did, and that is we made it that 95% of the time, 95% of the time, we're terrified, we're in fear, we're upset, we're looking at what we don't want, we're looking at the dirty room, and we're thinking, oh my God, this is it, this is my life, this is just the way life is. And 5% of the time we're in joy. And it's supposed to be flipped. We're not supposed to never be able to never have challenges. We're not supposed to, but our challenges are supposed to make us very clear on what we want. In the scrubbing time, we know we're moving towards a better place. We're not like, oh, I'm going to do all this work and the house is still going to be dirty. No, right? Could you imagine if you went into a dirty room and you're like, oh my God, this is my life, and that's it. What am I going to do? I have a dirty room. And then you sit in the couch and you just resign yourself to staying in a dirty place.
But some people do that.
We
though.
do.
So
we do that.
We have to acknowledge that a lot of people do sit inside a room because they feel overwhelmed. And that's when you can do things like moving up the emotional scale, one emotion at a time. So picking up one thing at a time. Maybe perhaps it's not everyone has the energy, literally the energy to tackle an entire house in one day. But if you start out and you start to see progress, which is what implementing the tools will actually do. You could also look at it like panning for gold. Like, you're going to sift in a river, through a screen looking, and 99% of it, it's just going to be rocks. But it's that one moment that you finally get that nugget of gold that you say, oh my God, all of those hours actually made sense that I did it because of that one chance that you have, that one piece of gold. So, because some people do, I think, feel overwhelmed. And, when you look at certain things in the way that you presented it, like the dirty room, I feel like weight on my chest. Like, I feel like, oh my God, I can't even imagine tackling all of it. I'd rather just move out. I'd rather just walk out of my house and say, who wants it? You know what I mean? And actually the funny thing is I just went through something like that. Tracy helped me out with that, going back to Sal Source, who's watching, which is funny because I realize, as you're saying, source, right? Source energy. And it's funny because that's his name. But
so funny.
Sometimes you have to look for different ways to get out of certain things than you normally would. And in this case, it was to outsource some of the work. And I know that you could do that too. And that's probably, I don't know, what would you say? That's like when you're writing down your book of positive aspects, because you're finding the 3 positive things rather than looking at what could be a multitude of negative things.
Right. But I think that also there's part of the solution is getting help, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to do it all on your own. But if you resign yourself to the fact that I'm going to be miserable, which we all do, and especially when you're on the lower part of the scale, it is hard to move up. Grief, I always say grief is very, very heavy. Moving from grief to the next step up can take weeks, can take months, can take years, because that's a tough step. That's why I always say, if you know anyone in grief, pray for them, because that's actually a helpful way to help raise their energy. Because when we pray for other people, when we imagine people, that this is why it came about. When we can imagine people healing, we actually create an energy that goes out into the world like every other energy. It doesn't mean that they have to step into that healing energy, but what it means is it's just like creating a sunny day for someone. Whether or not how they feel on that sunny day is up to them, but we want to create sunny days for other people, so that if you know, so to make it easier for them, right?
Yeah,
just to make
right.
it easier for them.
That
So
makes sense.
some of those emotions, and this is why in these 3, we didn't get to the third one, in these 3 Jess, in these 3 processes, we want to know where how we're feeling, because if we're really, really sad, the only one that's going to work is the last one, which I didn't talk about, which is number 19 in Ask and It's Given. Okay. I'm really bad at this. Tony, you do this all the time. I'm very impressed with you. I'm like, I have a new
Ooh,
appreciation.
What is it?
That you hold
Then
stuff
I
up to
can
the
figure it
screen,
out. So
and you can read them.
Well, what I would suggest is I'll put you on the large screen.
Uh-huh.
And then what you want to do is you want to put whatever you're trying to read up to the camera, directly to the camera. And then if you sit back, you can actually, can read it. Right? So I'm going to put you on the big screen.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Woo, look at this technology.
Look at
people.
that. Releasing resistance to become debt free. I can't read the smaller words, but that's fine. Okay, so in this one, because they're small, you do this when you want to experience relief, right? So you're feeling filled with debt. You want to feel relief. When you want to feel better about money, when you want to increase the flow of money, this is a great process. And I'm going to tell you, I'm doing this process right now. Okay, so I know how to do it. So this one you do when you are on the emotional scale, somewhere between frustration, irritation, and impatience, and the bottom, which is fear, grief, depression, despair, powerlessness. So this is how they explain to do it. You think about the things that you owe money on, right? Not like your recurring debts that never change, not like PSC and your like heating bill. That's not something that you're paying off. Any of your debts, like your house, if you own a house, your car, college, any of those debts, to the smallest one, if you, I don't know, whatever the smallest ones are. Think about everything that you owe money on, and you write in a column. Hold on, I'd share this with you guys, but no. My version of it.
Nope, I'm not giving you the insight.
Okay, so at the top, so it says, begin the process, releasing resistance to become debt-free. Obtain a columnar writing pad with as many. I did this on Excel, just so you know. I didn't do it on a writing pad. Nothing against these people. So beginning at the far left column, write a heading that describes your largest monthly outgo. For example, the largest check that you write each month, which is usually like your house payment or your mortgage or your rent. Now, if it's rent, that's not something you're paying off. So don't put that on the thing, because you can't ever, you're never going to get to the end.
These just have to be debts that you owe that you are paying off. You're working to pay.
So if you owe credit card debt, or you owe debt to somebody, you have someone that you want to pay off, right? These are the debts that we're talking about. Now, I don't know how many debts you have. You may have one debt, right? So then you're going to put that on the column. You may have several. Write down those debts. Okay. If you owe a credit card, if you own a house, if you have a car that you're paying off, those kind of things. in each column, you write what it is. And on the first line beneath the header, write the dollar amount of that payment that you pay per month.
Okay.
And then circle this amount because is what you owe each month. And then on the third line, enter the total outstanding debt for the category. So it is, what you pay monthly, what you owe. Okay. And then what you do is you make as many columns as you need from biggest to smallest. In the smallest category, so the goal is to pay the smallest debt, pay all your debts every month, but pay your smallest debt double. Right. Now, here's the problem. So say you only have one debt, like you're not, and you can't afford to pay that debt. Let's say you happen to be looking at your life and you have one credit card and you have debt on it.
Yeah.
You don't have a car that you're paying off. You have a lease. Right. So if you only have one debt, most of us will have a house and a car or a house. But if you only have one debt and you can't pay it, they don't give you pay a little more every month than you would. Try to find a way to start paying. And every time you're going to change the outstanding balance number, you want to start noticing those numbers changing, so that what it does is you can show yourself that you're making progress every month. You're making progress. I'm not process, so that you start to feel better. And if you happen to have a bunch of debts, and this is really good with people who have a bunch of debts, you can pay off the smallest debt faster. People will say, "Oh, let me pay the biggest debt." No, get something that will make you feel better, so that you could give yourself that feeling of relief. And when you see those numbers going down, because ever since I got divorced, my money changed, and I have some debts. And now when you start to see that money going down, it feels really good. Like you can say, look, and you can see where you've come and where you've gone. And that it gives you some sense of being in control. I created this. I can recreate it. It's a really great process. It is only for those in debt. So if you're not in debt, then God bless you. You don't have to do this. But
what is the name of the game again? Because I was looking it up to try to put it in the.
Oh, okay. So this is a longer one. It's process number 19, releasing resistance to become debt free.
Process number 19.
Yeah.
Releasing resistance to become debt free.
They say there's nothing wrong with debt. But if debt feels like a heavy burden, then your vibration around money is one of resistance. When the burden is lifted, you feel lighter and freer. Your resistance is lifted, and now you're in the position to allow well-being to flow abundantly into your experience. Just remember that one of the things I think about like debt is think of the universe knowing you're worth it, knowing you can do it. So if you're in debt and you're listening to this, no one likes to be in debt. I mean, a lot of us are in house debt. I mean, no, I don't know that many people are like, yeah, here's the $650,000 for the house.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
hand that right over to you.
And most people don't have that just sitting around. But so most of us have house debt. I know people with medical debt because that's something that happens, right? Because of this country we live in and the world, medical debt just happens. So if you can release resistance, and what it does is it makes you start to see, I can do this. And the truth is, when you feel that heavy burden, you are not poised to move into a better feeling place, because that heavy burden of feeling like you're full of debt feels just as bad almost as grief. And grief, those heavy emotional feelings, we've got to find a way to lighten them up. And this is why I was saying that in the beginning, if you can remember that it's always our emotions that we're working on. Our emotions, as we move our emotions up, we attract better. So you may attract solutions when you start to play the resistance game, releasing the resistance game. You may attract solutions because you can't attract great solutions when you're feeling afraid. You attract solutions that'll look a lot more like fear than the prior ones. Because remember, whatever platform you're standing on, you're going to get a bigger, deeper version of it next.
All right. So wait, don't pass that by, because that's one of the things that I always think about that you said. Explain to our audience the two platforms.
Okay. Wait, I want to show you this just for you. I think I was able to do this. Right? Let me see.
Drum roll, please.
So Those are the 22, the complete list of 22.
Woo! No.
That's not it?
Yeah, this is all we've done some of these. We've done the placemat process together. We've done scripting. We've done, so today we talk about pivoting. We did the focus wheel process. We've done what thought feels better and wouldn't it be nice on our show. So if who's ever watching this, if you look back, you'll find some of these processes.
And they're great.
So these are the 22 the list of 22, the complete list of 22. Here it is. Look. Oh, look, you can see my whole screen going crazy now. The processes. Whoa, I feel so cool right now.
That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. But I wanted to see if I could find your actual one. Sorry. So I'll stop now. Just wanted to tell you that. I just got excited that it only took me until 51 minutes into the show that I could figure out how to do that.
But we've never done that before, right? Where you put up
right. So it's
not completely.
Look at us moving into the technological age.
Ray says he likes that process. It's going to be great. And I know I see you writing a whole bunch of stuff over here. And if you notice, I was just trying really hard to figure out how to share my screen, Scuba. So I apologize.
That is awesome. No, that is so good because I just think this is so important that you really take notes on these tools. These tools work. I have to say it over and over and over again. Kim has given us so many tools, and I'm telling you, you need to set aside the time to actually do them. Just as we were saying earlier in the conversation, we know these tools that Kim has given us, and we're not using them. And you go, I don't know why this is not happening. And then it's got to be so frustrating for Kim. But I can attest because I've done several of the tools that she has talked about, and they work. They work. So really listen to what she's saying. Take the time to take notes. Take the time to practice this because these are tried and true methods that actually bring results, which is unbelievable. And I do, again, think it's human nature to be like, yeah, I'll get to it. And then we don't get to it. And then we don't understand why we stay stuck. It's really important to take the time to do for yourself because we all know that we're doing for everybody else. But please, please, please listen to what she's saying and take the time to do it.
Thank you, Jessica.
Well, and the funny thing is it is like panning for gold. And it's like you could spend all the time and
with a baby.
Look for your, that's right. You can pan gold for a baby. But the thing I think that Kim might have just been about to say, I don't really know, but is that they're not all her techniques, but she has gone through and she has sifted and sorted through them and she's found them. And these are a lot of the techniques that she teaches in her programs. And also she teaches in her life coaching. And I know because that's how I met Kim was through life coaching.
Too.
Jessica and Tracy. So yeah, we are here to say, we're tooting your horn.
Thank you.
That is the case and that is the truth.
Well, what happens a lot of the times is I create tools when I work with people. And you've heard me probably say this. I've never really done this before, but I'm going to try this and I'll have you try this and let's see how this works, right? And that's how some of the tools have made it into my course.
And then we told two friends and then they told two friends.
So on.
And so on and so on.
Yes.
So funny. It's so true. And so I hope anybody watching this just remembers that money is energy and we deserve those 90% of real joy and just the 10% of the challenges because it is through the challenges, it's through those hard times, it's through the times that we develop grit, we get clear, we rise up, if you're going through a hard time, that's how you create light. Right. So
yes. And I want to ask you a question that I know this is a whole other topic for another show.
All right.
So
last 4 minutes.
I know it's our 4 minutes left. These things go so quickly, but is there in the universe, because I always worry about this, a difference between feeling like I deserve this and entitlement?
And
it's like this weird, do I deserve this or I deserve this, right? Feeling like I deserve this and entitlement, which are two totally different things. It's like I get worried of like, am I being too entitled or do you know what I mean? It's almost like that thing of like,
I guess the thing is that the law is the law. And if you believe in something here's the thing, people can be entitled. We can see them as entitled as we want. But if someone really believes in something, they're going to attract it, period. End of discussion. So Is it entitled? Maybe. I mean,
Yeah.
because here's the thing. Is it, I deserve this from you and you have to give it to me?
More like I deserve this and I want to put it in the universe, right? So I think what we're trying to do, people that are trying to manifest, is like, well, I deserve this blank. I deserve whatever you're asking for, you want. Is it okay to say I deserve, or
Yes.
is that,
yes,
you know what I mean?
absolutely.
Because you get,
you get what you believe.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I get the idea of how entitled can you be, right? But you're not saying I deserve it and you don't. Right. You're not saying I deserve it and you don't. I can understand why that sounds entitled. And it also doesn't mean I deserve it and you have to give it to me. I deserve it just means I know that I put in the energy. I pointed my energy and my boat in the right direction. I've created alignment with what I want, and I deserve it. Right. I think that there is a fine line between I deserve it and you better give it to me. That's not, that's entitlement, right? Like I deserve it and you don't, that's entitlement. I deserve it without alignment. That's entitlement. Because if you actually think what alignment means, it gets your thoughts and feelings in alignment with it. If you feel I think that someone who came across as entitled would probably someone who didn't do the work. The energy work I'm talking about.
Yes.
But honestly, if someone believes that they should have it, they're going to have it, whether or not we think they deserve it or not.
All right.
That was very interesting.
Yeah.
That's an interesting thought, because I think it's what we also attach to entitlement.
Right.
Like there's a negative vibe to it. Like if you see a kid that's being a brat and they are like, I want it. Like it's mine. Like Veruca Salt was an entitled person, but she got what she asked for.
Right.
Yeah, but be careful to get what you ask.
I know. I know. Watch what you ask. Watch it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Bad egg. Ladies, I cannot believe the show's already over. I mean, I feel like we just started.
That went really fast.
Woo! So do the work, use the tools. The money will come, because money is energy. I love that. All right. Speaking of energy, Donna, what's happening now?
All right. Well, we are definitely now at the time where we get the messages from the fortune cookie of our Fortune 500 company called Open-Minded Mystics. And I'm here to deliver the messages to you. And let's go with Kim Mazzella first tonight. Okay. I'm knocking out all the energy. I'll bring up the big screen so that you who don't have glasses on can see what it is. If you are totally aligning tonight with Kim's energy, then this message is for you as well. You tell me when.
Speaking of energy, I'm plugging in, girls. I'm plugging in.
Okay.
Stop.
I just got the low energy.
Stop. Yeah. All right. So wait, this is not going to be in the front or the back. So I'm just going to stick it in here.
Stick in the middle. Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
Yeah.
The first one is heart and soul. When making your decision, take into account what your heart and soul are saying. Sometimes the mind can deceive us. Choose through love, not fear. Just what you are telling us tonight.
Amen.
Choose through love, not fear. Amazing. And the bottom card is Divine Mystery. Ooh, that's the first one for our show. You, along with the sun, earth, moon, and stars, are part of one creation. A divine mystery unfolding, Kim. Each moment, be present and feel the power of now. Be in the moment and witness the wonder of it all. I love that.
I love
the
that.
wonder
of it all. And the wonder of Tracy's phone. You know what? Mine actually sent me a nasty message during the show. It said, plug it in or you're going to sleep.
Exactly. That's what mine just said.
Mm-hmm.
You are low energy. Warning. Warning. Will Rogers.
Tracy Locke, it's your turn to tell me when to
stop. Here we go, baby. Now.
Okay. Whoa. No pressure.
You felt that surge.
I did. Oh, middle path. Embrace both sides. The middle path is the road to a balanced and more peaceful life.
Ooh,
middle path. I like that. Be neutral. Be Switzerland. Okay. And gratitude. Make gratitude your new attitude. The stars will shine brighter upon you. All in your world will become lighter.
I could use it.
Oh, all right. All right.
Hey,
it's amazing that the number for the show just went up at the end. It's like, if all you want me to do is read cards, I'll be Miss Cleo.
All right, Miss Cleo, give me a card.
Everybody. Here we go. If you're feeling my vibration and energy that this is for you as well. And I have to say, oh, I don't like that one. Stop. I'm going to stop it right there. All right, let's see. Ooh, Blue Angel, of course. Hi, Archangel Michael. I'm here by your side. Thank you. I am all around you and will forever protect you. Remember this whenever you feel fearful. I love you. All is well. I love my Blue Angel.
You're Michael.
And harmony. Disharmony occurs when we try to resist life's natural flow. The flow, guys. Everything has its cycle. Every stage of life has its own unique meaning and purpose. Every day can be harmonious if we want it to be. And I am manifesting that tomorrow's flow is very harmonious at 10:30 a.m. when I go to exchange a key for a check.
That sounds awesome.
Flow and go.
That sounds
Flow
good.
and
Harmony.
Go.
Yeah, harmony and also Archangel Michael. So thank you, everyone, for watching. And, of course, for liking, subscribing, and sharing. We are your open-minded mystics. We're here every other Monday evening from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. This is episode 114 on Monday, August 14th. You like the 14s?
14.
That. So don't forget that means there are 113 other episodes besides the one you watched. So if you really enjoyed us and just found us tonight, go check out some of our other episodes. And it's so interesting because one of the things when I knew tonight's topic is I thought about Dark Winter Moon. And I wonder how he's doing. And maybe we'll have to reach out because come September, our guest lineup is going to be crazy. Back to school.
Yes,
and back
got
to
a lot of great guests coming up. I'm very excited. We are so excited about all of you that have watched. Please tell a friend, subscribe, share, talk about us, tell everybody, tell a friend, and they'll tell two friends, and so on. So on.
Exactly. All right. And Kim, any last words? She's like, I just can't wait to scrub myself.
I missed you guys. I love hanging out with you guys, and thanks for coming. And I appreciate everybody who watched to the end. You guys
Happy Monday!
Bye, everybody. Trembraze.